Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Scary Snobs. Jason, I'm here with my boy.
Sir Sturdy. Feels good to be back. It feels good to be back. We had a little break, took a little week off. Kind of busy last week between the both of us, and you know, the separation. It was rough. It was a rough week, but we're back.
Yeah, we were supposed to start recording this like 30 minutes ago, but we spent the last 30 minutes just catching up with each other,
Yes,
and that was fun. Maybe we should start recording those too.
here and there, maybe.
Release them as like side pockets on social media. But anyway, guys, welcome. It's Thursday night. You're tuned in to us, and I can't wait to talk some horror with all of you.
Yeah, I'm right with you there. I'm right there with you, man.
So I am kind of collecting VHS tapes. I am
Ooh,
very excited about it because the Three Geeks were launching a new show. And yeah, I should have had my props ready to go, but I did not. The Three Geeks are launching a new show called VHS Friday. And I grabbed these bad boys. See, I know what you're saying. Why buy the VHS when you have the DVD? Well,
I get it.
There some of these VHS tapes before the movie starts has like fun little like clips where somehow the movie is worked into marketing for like a blockbuster or for a candy company, and you don't get those on DVDs anymore. So when we're doing the show, I kind of want to be as authentic as I can. I'm not always going to be able to find the VHS tape and I'll have to watch it on DVD. But when I can, I want to be able to check out the previews before so we can talk about those little nuggets and just discuss. And I'm very excited to do it. And like I said, I can't have a VHS collection without my favorite franchise. So
I get it.
2 and 3. I'll never have 4 and 5 on VHS, but that's fine. I can live without it. But
I respect it. I'm not a fan of the films, but I respect it as a collector, for one. And it makes sense. Like, I understand wanting, if you can get it, if you can get your hands on it, if you can afford it, you want every freaking variation of that film, that show, whatever that piece of content is, you want it and you're going to get it. And guess what? You work your behind off, you deserve it. Don't feel bad when you get yourself these things, people. You earned it, you deserve it, get it, collect it.
Plus, there's fun artwork. Like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies artwork is vastly different than it is now. And I want the Nightmare on Elm Streets. They go for a pretty penny. I think most of them go for like $20 each. So I got to wait. I'm not going to spend $20 on a VHS right now. I'm not there, but maybe eventually I'll have them because I'd love to get them, and I'd love to get the Friday the 13th as well. Even though they just released that big box set that you said you just picked up where it has the original VHS covers as the slip covers.
Yeah.
So I love it. I watched.
Yeah.
I finally watched The Howling. I had never seen it, and I dug it.
Nice. I'll have to check that out. I've never seen that either.
Yeah, I need more. I've only seen like a handful of werewolf movies. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is, American Werewolf in London. I don't know. I can't remember like the specific titles of ones I've seen in the past, but
it's funny you say that because I'm actually reviewing one on Horror Source 30 next week. Actually Thursday, Werewolf of London from, I forgot what year it was, but it's the late 30s, early 40s, I believe. Nice. If I'm not mistaken.
Are you gonna review Cocaine Werewolf?
If I find one, yeah. Oh yeah, I will. I will. But no, we're doing that, and we're doing Creature from the Black Lagoon on Tuesday, which is another fun one. I've never seen it, but got a Universal wheel over there, and I'm like, you know what? It's time. It's time because it's movies that, which this is with a lot of film in general, where it's like there's like a specific subgenre or whatever you want to call it, you want to watch, and you have a show. I have a shows that review movies, and I'm like, okay, well, I might as well just throw them on one of these wheels, so I'll have to watch and review it versus saying I'm going to watch it then, because now because of the podcasts, yes, plural, because of the shows, it's like, okay, so the times that I don't have to watch a movie, it's not that I don't want to watch a movie, it's like, what else can I do? Just because I don't have to watch one, what else can I do? And if there's like nothing else to do, I'll watch a movie and be fine with that. And sometimes I'll just choose that. But there's days where you're just like, let me play a game. Let me just kick my feet up and throw YouTube on and watch some other content creators' content. Let me I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes you need to study. You got to see what other people are doing. One, so you make sure that you can try to be authentic to yourself as much as possible, and two, because you want to see what everybody else is doing.
Well, yeah, you want to be relevant. You want to stay to your. You want to stay, as far as your content goes. You want to keep it, like you're saying, like to yourself. You want it to be your own content, your own creation. Yes, I'm sure you may borrow ideas and make it your own twist, because I mean everybody's borrowed ideas since you hit record, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't mean grabbing and just making it. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna. No, don't do that. Just lightly. Okay, I like what they're doing there. I got an idea. I can mix around something with that. All that cool stuff. But at the end of the day, we love watching our horror. And there's some pretty cool, fun news that has been circulating these past few days.
Yeah, I've got one here, and I've got a lot to say about it. So, Oregon Trail, Paramount Horror Western earns R rating with strong violence. First of all, if we don't get the Oregon Trail game with an R-rated twist, Hollywood, you're doing it wrong. Because I want to see that original Apple IIe game out on my phone with a horror twist. Like, that would make me so happy. You can go, instead of hunting, you can become a slasher in like a village and steal their money. That'd be great.
Quick question, somebody looked mad as hell on your phone.
Oh, that's my daughter.
She looks so mad. No disrespect, but she just looks mad. Like she didn't want to take that picture right off.
I put that on there because it drives her nuts.
So you did it on purpose. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She still gives me that face. She doesn't get mad at me a lot, but when she does, I get the same face from when she was 4 years old. So,
man.
I just put it on there to remind me not to make her mad.
That's good.
Plus, I laugh every time I see it. But a horror Western Oregon Trail. It's based on the original story, and I'm in. I'm so in. I want the video game that goes with this. Like, I'm not even joking. I want to see this video game. It's directed by the director of Drop Dead Gorgeous, Michael Patrick Jan, and then it's a screenplay by Meg Turner.
Okay. I'm here for it.
Yeah, the story centers on a young Abigail Archer, friendless and alone in a brutal Montana winter during the 1870s, fighting for survival and to retrieve her one earthly possession, her family's horse, from a gang of bloodthirsty bandits.
I'm here for it.
I don't recognize anybody that's in this movie, but I'm in.
Sometimes that makes it better, though, when you don't recognize it. For horror, in my opinion, not always. But if you don't recognize them and say you don't recognize them, but the acting is good, it's almost better because like certain actors, you're like, okay, so-and-so's in this movie. So I know for a fact he or she is going to survive one way or another, no matter what the hell happens. Like you can see him getting freaking blown up, thrown into a volcano and shot in the nipples. And somehow they're still walking around fine or just crawling around. Like, yeah, man, it just grazed me. Well, what happened with the volcano? Oh, I flipped and jumped in. How? Where was all this when the guy was chasing us?
I'm pretty sure I saw a bullet go through your head. Oh, it's fine. It bounced off.
Yeah, that was a mannequin head that I had up. Remember when you guys told me to grab it? I made the joke, so I ended up going back to the truck. Back when Jimmy fell down, hurt his ankle. Yeah, I went back and got the sandwiches and stuff, and I grabbed the mannequin head and some silly stuff. Which, for whatever reason, we're just like, okay, whatever. It makes sense. We're just gonna go with it.
That is kind of like the cop-out they gave for Halloween Resurrection, because H2O, Laurie cuts off Michael Myers' head, and then in the other one, it tries to tell us that it was actually a cop who put the mask on, and Laurie killed the cop.
Yeah, it was... H2O would have been such a sweet ending to that series.
Well, then they remade H2O in 2018, and it was a slightly better version of H2O. But I agree.
I did really enjoy the 2018 Halloween, and then after that, it was just downhill, and not like going downhill in a sled having a good time. No, that was like going downhill and not wanting to on some hard rocks, and then smacking a wall at the end.
I love the original Halloween movies, even Resurrection, even though Resurrection is not a great movie, but it's fun to watch. Like Halloween, I think it's 6 with Paul Rudd.
Thorne, yeah.
Also not a great movie, but
I didn't mind
Fun
it.
to watch, and we get to see Busta Rhymes do like ninja stuff. So,
I mean, I guess, but you know what though? Like, I wouldn't be mad at the quote unquote found footage / reality if it was done better. And I feel like more like a darker turn and a little more serious. Like, that silly tone would have worked better with Freddy, in my opinion. And it would have worked better with a Nightmare on Elm Street than it would have with a Halloween or Friday the 13th, because they're more of a serious, darker kind of, especially Friday the 13th with a darker tone and a sense of violence. And Michael's a darker tone in the sense of like that behind the shadows lurking kind of.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of jokes in Halloween movies except for that one with Busta Rhymes and Thomas Ian Nicholas. But yeah, man, now I want to see Busta Rhymes go against Freddy. Thank you for that.
I'm just saying it would have made more sense. It would have been more entertaining, funnier, because you have that. I mean, after freaking part 3, you have that silly character. You already have that silly character with Freddy, so why not do that? Just take Busta out of Halloween and put Busta Bus in Nightmare on Elm Street. This is the conversation we didn't even think we were gonna have, and we're having it, but it makes the most sense. Now let's try to figure out some other hip hop, musicians that we think should be in some horror movies while we're having this conversation.
I got one more thing to say about that. And make that Nightmare on Elm Street movie a hip opera, kind of like Hamilton. I'm in. I want to see Freddy rapping with Busta Rhymes. Oh, dude, I'm in. Like a music. Oh, dude, Sturdy. What are you doing to me? Like the only time I don't know if we ever heard Freddy rap. I know that in the Fresh Prince song, Nightmare on My Street, somebody raps as Freddy, but I don't think it's actually Robert Englund. I want this to happen, Hollywood. Please. Blumhouse, you guys are into doing weird shit. Can we make this happen?
I don't even like musicals, but I'm in for it. Because
hashtag Busta vs. Freddy, everybody.
Oh my gosh, let's make that happen. Hashtag Busta vs. Freddy musical.
Busta's in shape now. Like he's back out. Let's make some stuff happen.
We got some CGI and shit. Oh my gosh. Wow. So who else do we have? Who's gonna go in Halloween? Has to be somebody quiet though, you think, right?
Yeah.
This would be tougher than I thought. Well, we got one. We got Busta Rhymes going to Nightmare on Elm Street. What do you guys have? Maybe that's the better question, and we can discuss that next episode if you guys give us some answers. What do you guys have? What? I mean, it doesn't have to be
Will Smith in Halloween. He could slap Mike Myers.
That's true.
Sorry, guys. I had to fit one slap joke into this show.
No one slapped him.
But yeah, what would you guys like to see? Drop it in the comments below. Sturdy and I, we checked this. So yeah, let's have the discourse for sure. Oh, so we were speaking about Oregon Trail. You excited about Oregon
Trail? I'll put it to you like this. No matter how it comes out, I'll watch it. Like, I would rather go to theaters to watch it, just because one of my favorite things to do is going to the movies with the wife and watching a horror movie. And it's just like, so the more horror movies that go there, the more we're going to go watch in theaters. I mean, next weekend, we're going to go, depending on my mother's move and everything, we're going to go see that Renfield movie and The Pope's Exorcist, if all goes as planned. And then the following weekend, we're going to go see the Evil Dead movie and whatever other horror movies out there. Hopefully there's one. Hopefully there's at least, I believe that's the one dropping. So yeah, I can't wait for that.
Awesome. Have you ever seen a Faces of Death movie?
I have not. I've never been interested in seeing it. As a kid, I always thought they were real, because that's just the rumor that went around. And this was before the internet. Wasn't that like pre-internet?
I was literally today's year old when I found out that it was staged. Okay. I thought they were real forever. I watched I think 5 minutes of the first one. I was out.
And for me, I'm like I don't mind seeing that stuff if I know it's in a movie, if I know it's fake. You know what I mean? In a horror movie, that crazy shit, it's cool to see. But if it's something that's supposed to be real, I'm like, I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see somebody really dying and really getting hurt. That's not cool to me.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see real murder. I want to see fake murder.
Exactly.
So Josie Tota from the Saved by the Bell reboot and an old show called Jessie, I believe it was on the Disney Channel. She is going to be starring in this film as well as Barbie Ferreira and Dockery Montgomery. So I like her as an actress quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're going to do with Faces of Death, because Faces of Death as it was, and this sounds like it's going to be a Hollywood fair, but Faces of Death as it was, I don't think can come out today.
I don't know.
At least not by a major studio. I'm going to assume this is from a major studio because it's got...
But what if it drops straight to streaming to like HBO Max or Shudder or something?
That's fair.
Yeah. I think they can get away with it. They can probably get away more with dropping it to straight to streaming than they could with trying to drop it at the theaters, which, you know.
Yeah.
Theaters don't, I mean, unless they drop it at the theaters and cut out those extra parts, and I'm like, okay, we have the unrated version dropping streaming, say 2-3 weeks later. Then you can see that movie in theaters, like, oh. You know what I mean?
What is that?
What happened?
Whoops. Anyway, it's from the team that brought us Cam on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw that. That movie was okay. It's about a cam girl who somebody hacks her profile, but it's her in the video, and she can't figure out how it's her when she's obviously not doing it. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I'm curious. Okay. The cast has me curious.
How are you with found footage, by the way? I think we've had this conversation before, but
I've come around to it. Like I know a lot of people didn't like it, but the Paranormal Activity they just put on Paramount Plus like last year, maybe the year before. I really like that one a lot. So I'm coming around to it. I pulled my copy of Blair Witch to rewatch because I haven't watched it since the early 2000s. So I'm going to give that movie a second chance.
I'll have to throw you some more one of these days because I got a couple.
And I like the VHS movie quite a bit. The VHS 94.
There's a few. The VHS series, whatever you want to call them, those are fun. Those are really fun. Like if you haven't seen them all, I'd say they're definitely worth going through. Even if you've seen them before, they're definitely worth going through and just watching them all the way through. I love them. I love found footage is just such a fun freaking type of film, honestly.
Mm-hmm. So we are getting Five Nights at Freddy's video game, which we've talked about, but they gave us a release date, October.
Movie, you mean, right?
Yeah, and I am all in on this. I don't really know a lot about Five Nights at Freddy's. I know that it's essentially like
it's supposed
Chuck
to
E. Cheese and
creepiness. Yeah. I know nothing about the game besides like the little characters and stuff. They look cool as hell. I know nothing about the game, but as soon as I seen the news of this Five Nights at Freddy movie, I was just like, I want to see this movie. I hope it goes to theaters.
Well, the good news is it does have a theatrical release, October 27th, and it's going to be on Peacock the same day.
Well, I'm going to the theater to see it first because you know what it is, man. I love if I can watch every single horror movie that drops this year that I'm going to watch. If I can watch every single one of them in theaters and then watch it on streaming, I'd be ecstatic. I'd be ecstatic. If this theater right up the street from me just showed every single one, I'm up there every weekend, boom, and came home and watched it late. Oh man, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, and Matthew Lillard is the star of this. It's a Blumhouse movie, and you guys all know how I feel about Blumhouse. Jim Henson's Creature Shop is handling the special effects. I am in.
Yeah.
1,200% in.
You gotta be, man. It's gonna be fun at the very least. Even if it's a bad movie, so to speak.
Have you seen? Oh no, you probably haven't seen Willy's Wonderland, the Nicolas Cage version of Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, you have.
Unfortunately, I did because I had to do it on my podcast I don't know if it was 2022 or 2021. I don't remember when it was, but within the last 2 years, yes. Maybe even the last 3 years, honestly.
You're the wrong person to ask if you like this because I know you didn't.
I don't remember anything about it. I remember him yelling a lot, and I remember him playing on a what the heck you call those, pinball machine, and like dancing in front of it and drinking the stupid energy drink at certain times a day. But it was it bothered me, but I got through it because I'm strong.
There's a lot to like about this.
I'm strong.
It's nice to see Matthew Lillard back as something other than the voice of Shaggy. Even though I really like the fact that he is still the voice of Shaggy in a lot of the animated stuff.
Probably his best role ever. What has he done better than Shaggy?
Stu Macher. That's why fans are still screaming for Stu to come back.
Yeah. I mean,
Redneck Zombies, 1989 Troma release is getting the novelization treatment. Now, I have a rant. I want the novelization that we already got for all the Friday the 13th and all the Nightmare on Elm Streets and all the Chuckies and so on and so forth to be available for us to read online because they are nowhere. They're out of print. They go for a lot of money because, you know, there's characters and subplots in these horror books that I want to read about. Like Jason's dad makes an appearance in Friday the 13th Part 6 because he was originally supposed to be in the movie but got cut. I want to see those books somewhere where I can read them and I don't have to spend a fortune. Like, why is that not available to us? Because I love novelizations, especially when they add more. Like, I went out and bought the Rise of Skywalker novelization because I heard there was a lot more to the story within the book, which made the movie to a lot of people better. So I wanted to grab that and watch it. And I know there's stuff in the Child's Play books that I want to read so they can go into more backstory and so forth. And a lot of those are based on the original script because, you know, the movie sometimes isn't even shot when the writers get the script. So they're writing it based off of the script, which means, you know, the movie could have turned out different. And I love those what if those what if scenarios, like other universes version of this product that we got. And it just sucks that they're not available. I would love to read the Nightmare on Elm Street books. It'd make me so happy.
Hell yeah. I agree with that.
So what do you think about Redneck Zombies getting a novelization 34 years later?
I mean, if it has a big amount of fans, go for it. I say it's one of those things. If you're doing it for your fans, I respect it. I say go for it. I know nothing about Redneck Zombies. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it, never watched it, never read anything about it. Not saying I wouldn't. I just never heard of it, so I couldn't. But
all right, so I remember reading the Home Alone novelization when I was younger, and there's like the Home Alone 2, and the opening chapter of that book was like Kevin McAllister's like PTSD of what happened in the first movie, and you know, it adds a layer. And that was a kid's book. It adds a layer to the character. I want more of these novelizations. They're out there. They've been written. Why can't we get them published?
See, we need more of that.
Come on, libraries.
I would love to see that into the movies, though. Like what was supposed to be, how the movie was supposed to be. Put that extra 20 minutes in there.
Yeah.
So we can watch it with the movies.
More directors. I got to show you this poster for this movie. Hold on a second.
You know what I mean? Because we already paid $40 for the Blu-rays, pretty much. You add the extra $5 and throw the extra the real deleted scenes. Throw the real deleted scenes on there, and we'll check it out.
Yeah, word. Let me pull up this photo. I want to show it to you guys. Sorry, I'm on a different StreamYard than the one I usually use, so I just got to look for a place to put it up. So just bear with me for a second, but it's fun.
What you're saying.
Here we go. You guys are not ready for this. I kind of want to watch this movie now. It's kind of got a Dale and Tucker vibe on this cover. Look at this. Like,
oh shoot, yeah, I want to see that.
Man, Redneck Zombies. They're tobacco chewing, gut chomping, cannibal kinfolk from hell. All right, that's added to my list too, folks. I cannot wait to check that out.
I'm about to add that to a list right now.
And then the last of the ones I pulled, and Sturdy pulled one that I'm very excited about, so I can't wait for him to talk about it. But Lizzie Kaplan horror film produced by Seth Rogen is coming out in July. And I didn't even know this was happening. I like Lizzie Kaplan a lot, and I like Seth Rogen a lot. What's it called? So it's directed by Samuel Bowden, who created Netflix's short-lived French horror series, Marion. It is called Cobweb.
Cobweb?
Yeah, and it's coming out July 21st. Lizzie Kaplan will be in Paramount's version of Fatal Attractions very soon as well. And then it also stars Anthony Starr from The Boys, Cleopatra Coleman from Infinity Pool, which is another movie I really need to see, and Woody Norman. And produced by Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, and James Weaver. I like Seth Rogen a lot, especially his stuff that he's produced recently.
Oh, Seth Rogen's great. Seth Rogen's great.
And I was telling the guys on my show that even in bad Seth Rogen movies, I always find Seth Rogen funny.
He is. He. You know what Seth Rogen is? He's stoner funny. Like if you're not really a stoner, you might not find him as funny as a lot of us. But this list right here, let me scroll back up to the top. 5 Easter horror movies to stream this week. I'm not familiar with a lot of Easter horror, unfortunately. I don't ever really pay attention to it because I don't really pay attention to Easter. I didn't even realize it was Easter until I was told it was Easter. Like this week was coming up, and then I reminded like yesterday or today or something. So happy Easter, everybody. But here's 5 Easter movies. Easter horror, I guess we should be watching. So Hoopla. It's on Hoopla and on Tubi. Critters 2.
Critters 2 is great, everybody. It's great. Sir, have you not seen Critters 2?
Honestly, I don't think so.
It's directed by Mick Garrison, who did the remake of The Shining. He also did The Stand and some shorts on Masters of Horror. I love the Critters movies. Critters 3 has Leonardo DiCaprio in it. It's his first role. And it's fun. You can't go wrong with Critters. I love Critters.
I'm gonna have to watch these though, because I need some Easter horror movies to watch. I did just watch this. I actually watched this one and the second one recently. These are awesome. So if you've not seen these movies, Dead Snow 1 and 2, watch them. Watch them. They are awesome.
It looks like Dead Snow is by the same guy who did Violent Night.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
At least. And just look how they look.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the special effects, the makeup.
Yeah.
And then Holidays. I've heard Holidays is really good. I mean, that image is creepy.
It is, and it makes me want to watch it. That is creepy. You know, it's creepy because instead of it looking like a rabbit face, it does, but it's like the skin instead of like furry. It's like skin.
Yeah. It's like a human rabbit hybrid. That's creepy, folks. You guys should watch Holidays.
We should all.
I'll try to watch it myself this week.
Well, I'm gonna watch it. It's an anthology. I love anthologies. I do have Screenbox, which I need to start using. Just called
Family Dinner. I have not heard of Family Dinner.
This is like another app. I think it's like $4 or $5 a month. I think I paid it off for the year, but one of those cheap horror apps. It's actually connected with Bloody Disgusting.
Nice.
It's Bloody Disgusting's app. Resurrection.
What is Resurrection?
John Crackle, Freevee, Tubi, and Voodoo.
Crackle. I forgot all about Crackle. I need to re-download that. Christopher Lambert is in it.
Dude, that horror thriller gem. Lambert stars as one of 2 detectives assigned to a homicide case.
It's got a cameo by David Cronenberg, and it's directed by the guy who did Highlander. All right.
That's an interesting.
Inspired by Seven. Okay. I want to check that one out. What's that one called again? Resurrection. Yeah.
Resurrection. So yeah, I'll go up. Here's Resurrection. What was this one? Family Dinner.
Yep. And then Holidays.
Yes, Holidays.
That looks the scariest out of all of them.
This looks creepy as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still want to watch it. Dead Snow, which I did watch the first one and the second one. I stand by both of them. I even say watch them back to back. They're definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
These ads keep popping up on my computer. It's driving me crazy.
Critters 2. And you said Critters 2 was really good. I have not seen it, but I am going to watch it. So I'm going to have to watch 1 then 2, of course.
It's not Macbeth, folks, but it's a fun movie.
As a matter of fact, I know how we give each other homework. I'm gonna give myself homework. I'll watch the first 2 Critters movies.
Hey, I'm gonna check out that Resurrection movie.
Okay, and then let me know how it is. That works. That works. But I'll check out Critters 1 and 2. And then,
oh, dude, Sturdy.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you saw this, man, but your movie Cocaine Bear is going to be free streaming on Peacock on the 14th of April.
Oh, I seen it. It's also going to be coming out on Blu-ray. There's like a special edition Blu-ray thing. I got it. I forgot where the link is.
He's going to have this marked on his calendar. I wonder how many times you're going to watch it on the 14th.
But I am going to get that on Blu-ray. I have to. But look at right here though, Bruce Campbell. Which, if you're a fan of Impractical Jokers, I am.
Oh, dude, me too. I miss Joe, and the first season without Joe was a little awkward. But this season without Joe, like the second season since Joe left, has been fantastic. And
it's good to know. See, I've been watching it on HBO Max mostly. Like me and the wife will watch like YouTube clips. Like I haven't watched most of the newer stuff. I have not seen. I don't care if you spoil it because
dude,
whatever.
They had during the season I thought was a little awkward. There was some really funny stuff though, but they had one where Method Man was hosting a panel, and they put a vibrator in Murray's backside. So during the panel, as he's asking questions, they're buzzing it, and Method Man was doing everything he could to not laugh. And
yep, I remember that one.
Bruce Campbell was made for this show.
Yes. Yeah. And then if you don't know the show, you won't know who we're talking about. And I'm sorry about that. But Q is a huge, I think Murray is as well. I think they all are, but I know Q is a huge horror fan. He's said it many times. I've seen him in pictures with Kane Hodder. I've seen him wearing like Friday the 13th hoodies on the show and other kind of horror stuff on the show. I mean,
well, Q was in Victor Crawley, Hatchet 4.
I got to see that. I don't have that yet. I haven't seen that yet. I got to get that.
Yeah, dude, I've met Murr at a con before. Very nice guy, and I've seen Joe live. He does stand up now since he left the show, and they are funny guys. And Bruce Campbell's a funny guy. Bruce Campbell's a natural funny guy. So to have him on a hidden camera show,
that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be
fun.
I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be.
I saw that, and I called my son immediately, and I'm like, dude, guess who is going to be on Impractical Jokers? And he's like, who? I'm like, Bruce Campbell. And he's like, who's that? And I said, Ash. And he's like, oh, Ash, yes. We met Bruce Campbell a few years back because it's one of Tony's, my son's favorite actors. And yeah, I'm really glad that he's coming on this show. Like I was stoked.
That's awesome. That show is so freaking, and I love how we can go on and on about that show, guys. That's not what we're here for. I'm sorry.
That would be my horror nightmare, would be to be on that show.
I would love to be on that show. I would love to be on that show or Hot Ones. Holla at me if you see me.
No, I would love to be on the show too. I would just be horrified to do some of the stuff that I would have to do.
Yeah, but I'd rather do it and get through it than have to do the punishment.
Yeah, word.
Because the punishment could also be like the last. Don't forget, the punishment could be the last thing that you guys are doing. And it could be something you absolutely like, you know what, I'll just take the loss on it. And then that you take that loss and you lose the game. It's like, now you got to do it anyway. But now you got to do it to like 14 people instead of just 2. It's like, wow, man.
Yeah. All right, man. We blew through those topics, but we'll find other stuff to talk, folks. Do not worry.
I got, what is the movie called? Crimes of the Field. Crimes of the Field or Crimes of the Future? Let me look this up.
Crimes of the Future.
Crimes of the Future
movie.
Yes.
That guy is like stuff that nightmares are made of. I watched the Videodrome, and I was good on Cronenberg for a few years.
Did you? Oh my god! Listen, Crimes of the Future. Listen, people. Why? I just talked about. We didn't really discuss it because we were also talking about other stuff on my podcast. And my brother did a couple like last weekend. But anyway, watch that. Like I'm gonna watch that movie again. I may watch it again and bring it to the podcast and really give it a review. But watch that movie, and wow, just wow, that movie is crazy.
Yeah, I just looked it up on the Tomatoes, and it's got the audience score at 50%. That makes sense. Cronenberg is not for everyone.
No, he's not. But for your boys 30, yes.
Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Fly. Cronenberg did that, or at least did the special effects with that, and that is horrifying. Take it up another notch, or 100 more notches for Videodrome. And I've heard that Crimes of the Future is even worse than Videodrome, and I can't even imagine that. Like, they had vaginas in their stomach in freaking Videodrome. So
I've never seen. I gotta see that.
I shouldn't say vaginas. That's an insult to women. I apologize. But they had like VCRs in their stomach, and it was just awful looking.
I'm gonna watch it. Don't worry, people. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I need to watch more Cronenberg.
Excuse me.
I'm guilty of not seeing.
Well, just like what I was saying with the Universal monsters, like I need to get into more of that. And I know I'm not one of those, people say if you haven't watched this, you're not a true horror fan. I don't believe in that because that's just stupid. But at the same time, I do want to watch these movies. Like I do want to watch those films. So I'm like, all right, now is the time to throw them on a wheel so you'll watch them and stuff. And as soon as it landed on, I was excited. I was like, yes, now I have to watch this. And like I love just from podcasting so much. I've learned to love. No, I've already enjoyed it, but I've already been enjoying it. But now I see how much I really, really enjoy movies that are in black and white. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so. It's so simple, but it's like so peaceful. Mm-hmm. It's so easy. Yes, I do love the colors and all that other stuff for movies, but for certain films, I'm like, this is perfect. You didn't even need any color. Like putting color in this film wouldn't have enhanced anything at all. It wouldn't have helped anything at all. Honestly, it may have ruined some things because you're going to see more than you really need to see. So yeah, and I'm just loving it. I'm loving it.
Bride of Frankenstein is one of my favorite sequels ever made.
Really?
I love that movie. I love the Frankenstein movie so much. I don't know what it is about that I gravitated towards the most, but I love. After you're done with all the Universal monsters, you're gonna dive into the Abbott and Costello Universal monsters because they're played by the same actors.
I don't know. I'm not gonna make any promises, but maybe when the time comes, if I'm asking for wheel ideas, you could throw that out there and remind me.
Because there's the Invisible Man is one that's really funny because Abbott. Maybe it's Costello. I don't know them.
I did review The Invisible Man and I did review Frankenstein so far. This was like back probably sometime last year, but then I actually just made a wheel and put like 10 movies on there of just those. So it's a mixture of whatever we grab.
I like The Invisible Man too a lot.
But I'm excited though. I'm excited. And it's more horror, man. I love horror movies, so it just brings me back to the past. But okay, now nice, and then what the cool thing about doing this is with anything when you have a passion about it. I'm like, okay, now I'm going back. So now when I'm watching newer movies or movies I enjoy, when they're referencing something from one of these films, I'll know exactly what they're talking about instead of, oh, I heard that was from such and such a film, or oh, I heard that was from blah blah blah, or someone tell me that was from blah 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 blah. It's like, oh, now I know what they're talking about. Cool.
Yeah, sometimes you'll go back and watch a movie and be like, wow, this movie completely ripped this movie off.
That too.
I need to see The Mummy and I need to see Creature from the Black Lagoon. I have not seen those.
Well, we'll talk off air. But okay. So you said your favorite. Which one did you say was your favorite for Universal Monsters?
It's Frankenstein.
But
I really like The Mummy. Not The Mummy. Sorry, The Invisible Man. I think I watched The Invisible Man 2 also.
Okay.
And I mean, this isn't a Universal Monsters movie, but I did recently watch the original Fly, and I dug that too from that time.
Nice.
Very different than Cronenberg's The Fly.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Not at all as disturbing.
But that's what I like about what he does. Like that's why I'm saying the Crimes of the Future. It's a masterpiece in its own weird way, in my opinion. It is a masterpiece in its own weird way. but you have to be able to stomach that type of film. You have to really enjoy that type of film. You have to enjoy that type of, I guess you would call it an art. You have to enjoy that type of art with the film because it's a different type of art, and I love it. I love it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh! And then the way they tie the story in with, it's so, whew. It's you're just like, wow, how are people really, for better lack, you know what? I'll say this: how are people enjoying this the way they're enjoying this?
Fascinating.
It's it's worth the watch though. Like I like movies that kind of make you sit back and think, like, what the hell is going on? Why am I watching this? But but at the same time, not why am I watching this because it's bad. Why am I watching this because it's like weird, crazy, but it's still good? And you're like, I gotta finish this, but I don't know how I feel about myself watching this weird stuff.
You know, it's funny. I love watching movies like that where you're done watching it and you'll go like, did I like that? Mm-hmm. Should I have liked that?
Exactly. And it's like, that's exactly what it's like.
Should I go to therapy?
I can't believe
because I like this.
What makes those better though, man? What makes those better is when you have the person that's like, either they didn't like it because of how crazy it was, or they're on the fence because they don't understand the story as much. And you, that's a fan of that type of style as it is, it's easier for you to pay attention to the story because all the visuals don't surprise you. Yeah, you're, oh shoot, that was dope, cool, wow, boom, boom. But they don't really surprise you. Some may shock you, some may surprise you, but not to the extent of people who aren't as big of a fan as you are of that gore and stuff.
Yeah.
So you can pay attention to the story easier. So you can have that conversation with someone when someone's like, oh, how can you like this? For the ones that hate, how can you like this? They're like, well, I mean, first of all, you do have the blood gut, and they're just saying, oh, it's all blood, guts, gore. Yeah, I know, I enjoy that. But if you pay attention to the story and you see why, and this part right here, remember when the girl put the ring down on the counter, and then 3 scenes later, the ring was in her car, but it was the next day, or just something, and she didn't move the ring, she didn't touch the ring, and now the ring is at her desk. And again, she didn't move the ring. She didn't touch. She doesn't even realize it's there. And just little things like that. And it's just like, okay, now you're just little pieces. You can pay attention to that more. And with that type of film, with the Cronenberg film, with this one right here, you have little weird things, You're just like, what the heck? Like, what the? So this is normal here. So all you guys, this is okay. I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong place, and that's this type of film. It makes you it makes you think like, should I turn this off? Should I turn my head? You know what? No, I should. I'm gonna kick back. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. I'm gonna just enjoy it because it's. But don't watch with children. It's not a kid. It's not kid friendly. Even though you know how I say if I had a little one and all this stuff, I'd be the horror dad. This would be the one. Nah, you ain't watching this. This is one where I may not have you watching this, so you're maybe 17, 18 type of deal. I'm all joking aside. Like when you're seeing these type, and maybe with Cronenberg in general, I don't know. I got to see more. I know I've seen a lot of his stuff, but just this is what's popping out to me. But this one, I'm like, no, this is 17, 8. You don't need to see this. This is a little much. It's in like that audition type of realm. If you've seen the movie Audition, and that again, 17, 18. After that, you know, or when you move out, you can watch whatever the hell you want. But 17, 18, you're under my roof. Yeah, you gotta wait. You gotta wait till about 17, 18. And that depends on how mature you are by then. I'm serious. That is that's gonna be something you don't want to be sitting down with your 10, 15-year-old and getting Dad, why? Nah. I told you 17, 18. Then you can go search them questions because you're old enough. Matter of fact, let's say 18, because then you're old enough to search them questions on your own. You go Google that stuff. You figure it out.
Yeah, invite your squeamish friend over to watch it now, and then just sit there and watch them watch it
and laugh.
Well, why don't you watch the movie? I've seen the movie. I haven't watched you watch this movie yet, so that's why you're here, so I can watch you. Yeah. You just watch the movie. Exactly. Have some popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I need to see. I wanted to go see it in theaters, but then I was too chicken to go see it in theaters because I had heard so many stories about it.
I wish I heard about. I don't even think it played around here. To be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure, but something like this, I would definitely see in theater. Oh my goodness! But I'd watch anything. I mean, anything horror related, I'd watch in theaters, which we've already discussed. But this on the big screen would be beautiful. Would be beautiful. I just look at it as beautiful art, man. I really do. As crazy as and as chaotic as these movies get, I'm like, wow, I like how they did that. There, it looks cool. Looks good.
Blumhouse has a movie called Night Swim coming out.
Night Swim.
Yeah, it's coming out. It's been moved to January 5th, 2024. It is directed and written by Bryce McGuire and Rod Blackhurst with James Wan set to produce it alongside, Jason Blum and so forth. So that's a good. I like James Wan a lot.
Yeah. Did you Insidious 5? You see we're getting that, or Insidious the Red Door?
Yeah.
You excited?
I am. I need to watch Insidious: The Last Key. I haven't seen it. I honestly keep forgetting it's a thing.
Really?
And I need to see it, and there's no reason I haven't seen it other than the fact that I keep forgetting that it's out because I really like the first three.
Oh yeah, it was good. It was good. It was really good.
So.
Actually, I watched them sometime last year. Yeah, I did a watch party for them sometime last year for all of them. Those are good though. Those are really good. Again, I'm a bigger fan of The Conjuring, but they're both phenomenal in my opinion. They're both phenomenal.
Yeah, for sure.
You said you're going to see the next two movies to go see Renfield and what you call it, the Pope, right? Pope's Exorcist next weekend.
Yep, I'm gonna do the triple feature. That's my plan.
What's the third?
Nefarious, the Pope, and the Renfield.
Nefarious, is that horror? That is, right?
It's suspense. It's more on the suspense thriller side, I think, but that counts in my eyes.
I do too. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Definitely have to check that out.
So, yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
We're the Scary Snobs. You guys can check out tomorrow. We have the Fundathon, Casters for a Cause. We will be doing, hopefully Mick has premiered this before, but I'm going to show it. At 7 p.m., there's going to be a script reading of Back to the Future, followed by a movie trivia battle royale. We will be raising money for a good cause. So definitely come support and check that out. Me and Sturdy will be on and off throughout the day, hanging out with our friends, hanging out with each other. And it should be a good time. They always are. And Mick's doing it a little differently this time around with the script reading. And I'm very excited to be a part of that script reading.
Hey, listen to this. Now, I'm one of those, yes, I can read. Yes, I know how to read, all that good stuff. But I'm like out loud, I'm not the greatest. I'm not terrible, but I'm just like, I don't know what it is. It's not like the school feeling where you don't want to, and you're just doing it just to do it, stumbling. It's just one of those things. Need some work, but you know what? This is gonna be some work. There's gonna be some practice, live practice, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and you got to act too. Not only read but act.
Oh, really?
I don't know if Mick's looking for the acting, but
but
I'm gonna try to ham it up, folks. I can't wait.
You put it in my head, so I'm gonna do something. We'll see. I can't wait. But Jason, what do you have coming up, my friend? What's going on with you?
We are live Sundays at 10 a.m. I'm trying to change that because whenever we do special evening shows, we do a lot better view-wise, and I want more people watching us live than afterwards, so we might be switching it up to the evening soon. But until then, you guys can find us Sundays at 10 a.m. and then randomly throughout the week at 3 Geeks Podcast. What about you, sir?
So I do a live podcast, Horror Research 30, every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. This week we are reviewing On Tuesday, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and Thursday, Werewolf of London. And then also over on Popcorn and Pints, 9 o'clock Eastern time, we review 2 movies. I honestly forgot which 2 we're reviewing next Saturday. But again, every Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And you can go to horrorsource30.com to get all the Horror Source 30 updates and links. That's about it, people. Have a scary night.
Yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Peace.
Peace.